There we go. Look at that. I found the record button. I am learning, everybody. I was telling the elementary students in orientation that we just had that this is very new to us, and so we are learning. So you have to kind of bear with us, but it's also really fun and pretty easy to use. All right, so let's get started. I see someone named Lillian Bennett, and that is the name of my daughter. That's very cool. Hi, Lillian. All right, so I am going to share the presentation with you real quick. And you'll see that you can see the slides on the side, and that just helps me keep focused so I know what I'm doing because I can get kind of sidetracked with chatting with you. All right, so welcome to the WAVA Middle School Orientation. This is for the 2020-2021 school year. And we are so excited that you're here with us. And I know we have a lot of new families who maybe you weren't planning on doing online school. You were hoping to go back to your regular school, be in person, see your friends, see your teachers, walk around the hallways. And you know, it is a bummer that it's not opening up, but look at this. You get to be in an awesome school like WAVA with wonderful teachers, and you'll have all these new friends. And we are all very excited to have you. So thank you for being here. So orientation is designed to help new families prepare for school. We'll talk about all the essential started information and support you need. We will learn to utilize tools in Class Connect. And what I mean by that is this year we'll be using two things. We'll be using Blackboard, the program that you use to log in from your Class Connect page. You clicked on that and you went to a program and then it said, hey, we're in Zoom today, click on this link. So we're going to be using Blackboard and Zoom this year. And then we'll talk about school expectations and community. So here is your principal, Mr. Del Highstand. He is super excited to have you. He is really excited for this year. You'll find out. He just loves school, loves all the teachers, loves all the students. He just wants to be super involved. He's a really happy, positive guy. So I know you will really like him. And he will make sure to be contacting families as much as he possibly can. So you see on the right-hand side is a picture of the WAVA Middle School teachers and administrators. Typically, every year, so all the staff, we're all located throughout the state of Washington. And every year, a couple times a year, we'll get together for big meetings where we will learn new things for school. We'll see each other and work together in teams. So this is one of those times. This is from last year. This year, we're not able to do that, of course. Everything's online. But we will be meeting in Zoom just like you all are next week. So it'll be pretty fun, very exciting. And here is the middle school student support team. So on the top row, you see your advisors. We have Miss Janine Haley, Miss Iram Batdorf, Miss Ingrid Butler, Miss Rebecca Tamez. Sorry, Rebecca, I always get that wrong. Miss Kimberly Lahman. And then you'll see on the bottom are 3 empty spots, no pictures. Those are new advisors that just started with us. I need to get their pictures, and they will start working with you in September. That's me in the middle, Heather Bennett. And then we've got a new community outreach specialist, the social media person. Haley Chamberlain has started with us, and I will get her on here as soon as possible. But she'll be doing all the social media, and one of the big ones that she'll be doing is virtual field trips. So that's exciting. This year we're not able to do in-person field trips, and that's perfectly fine. So we're going to have some awesome virtual ones, and I can't wait to get those started. And then next we have Miss Kathy Swartz, the Student Resource Coordinator. All right, so now it's on to the good stuff. We will talk about Blackboard. I'll kind of go through that a little bit with you so that you're familiar with it because your teacher will use both Blackboard and Zoom. How to use tools in Class Connect. We will talk about your accounts and logging in. We'll look at the main page of the accounts. We'll talk about art and PE and map testing, attendance, expectations, staying social, and where to get help when you need it. So this is Blackboard, and I am going to share my screen of Blackboard so it can be a little more interactive so you can see what it's all about. So this is where you logged in today. Wave at the camera if you see Blackboard on the screen. It should say orientation will be in Zoom today. Awesome. I see Tanya waved at me. Let's see who else waved at me. Oh, a lot of people waved at me. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. So you can see that we are in Blackboard right now on my screen. So what's going to happen during the school year is if your teacher wants to have class in Blackboard, they will do it like this. They will post your class on your Class Connect page just like I did. And then when you log in, if your teacher is having your class in Zoom, they'll let you know by putting the link on the main page, just like I did. So that way it's not confusing to anybody. You just log into your class just like normal from your schedule. You click on it, and then when you get here, you'll either be working in Blackboard or you'll be going to Zoom. It just kind of depends on what's going on that day. So let's talk about Blackboard a little bit. So everything that you will be learning, your content will be right in the middle right here. So right where it says orientation will be in Zoom today, this will all change to whatever you're learning that day. So let's look at this top box that says audio and video. On there is where you can talk into the microphone, you can be on webcam. So that's all in this top box. At the very top, you see a little microphone with that little red toggle right there. That is your audio setup, and it's super important that every time you are in a Blackboard class, you set that up. I always do, even if I don't think that I need to. I always do just to make sure that my headset is working correctly, that I can talk into the microphone, just to make sure that everything is good to go so that you don't have any delays in class. Now let's look at the participant box. When I look at this box, and it might be a little small for you, but I can see main room. And next to it, it says the number 203. That is how many people are in this Blackboard classroom right now. So over here, you can see emoticons. So when I did workshops last year, we would go through and pick all of our favorite emoticons, and that was pretty fun. And then we have the away button. So you can see underneath my name, it says away. And then we have your question button. And then this is a really important one. This is polling. So your teacher will use polling to check for understanding. So make sure you know where that little green check mark is. And your teacher can change that from the check mark to, let me change it real quick. You can change it to multiple choice. So now you should see an A in that spot. So you can do multiple choice there. All right, so then you've got your participant box and you can scroll through and see who's in class with you that day. Today, there are a ton of people. It won't be like that in your classes. Your classes will be much smaller and you'll have a lot more interaction. You'll work in groups, you'll work with your teacher. It's a lot more fun. And then at the bottom, you have your chat box. And you see that chat is supervised. So your teacher can see what's going on in chat. So even if you are maybe sending a friend a private message, your teacher can see that. So we always like to tell students to make sure that your chat is always to the topic being discussed. So maybe if your teacher is talking about math that day, make sure you're not talking about like Minecraft or Roblox in the chat. I know that my son would be doing that. He's going into 8th grade, and I think that his chat is probably all about that right now, or Fortnite, or whatever it is. So in chat, you can see this little triangle. The triangle is upside down right now. That means your chat is maximized, so you can see what's going on in the chat. Right now, we can see it says that Vincent joined the main room, and it says that Angie joined the main room. So that just means you can see what's going on. That you can see people going in and out of the room. You can see if people are typing anything, if your teacher is putting in any links in there. Make sure that it is always maximized. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's minimized. So you can see, oh, you can't see what's going on. It's pretty small. So if you're ever in class and you're like, gosh, I know my teacher put something in there, but I just don't see it. Make sure that your chat, that little triangle, is upside down. And then another trick is to go down here to these tabs and make sure the room tab is always on the top. So just click on it and it'll make that one brighter. The other ones on the bottom will kind of be shadowed. And those ones you don't want to have on top. You always want to make sure room is on top. So if you feel like maybe your teacher is missing your chat, you can't understand why your teacher might not be responding to you, make sure that you're in the main room. Because if you're in one of these little rooms, your teacher might not see that you typed something. So that is just a little bit about Blackboard. There's one other thing that you will learn once you start using it, your whiteboard tools. So you can see that I'm kind of moving this box around a little bit. Those are your whiteboard tools. So right here you have the little arrow, and then next to it you have the pointer, so you can change this. You should see a little smiley face, and I can click places. You can move your smiley face around. So that is your pointer. You can change it to the sun, and then you can write on the board. So I'll show you what that's like. You can type things. I'll show you what that's like. Hello. You can do all sorts of different things with your whiteboard tools. So that is Blackboard, and you'll have more time to be in that as the year goes by. Teachers will probably use that a little more at first, as we're just getting used to Zoom. Both programs are great. I think the difference between Blackboard and Zoom is that Zoom, we can have a little more interaction with you by seeing you better. I know we'll learn how to use more of the tools in Zoom as well. Blackboard, we like to be able to go in breakout rooms and work in small groups, and it's just kind of what we're used to. We've been using it for so long, but of course, we're trying to change things up, get with the times, you know. All right, so this is all from Blackboard, setting up your audio, your chat, your polling. So let's move on to your personal workspace. So I'm gonna show a little bit more of your pictures a little bit so I can see some of you. Give me a wave if you have a desk area already set up and ready to go. Awesome, I see a lot of waving. Thanks everybody. Thanks Brandon, Cameron, Haley. Good job everybody. And I see Kathy is clapping for everybody. Hi Kathy. All right, everyone. So in this picture, you can see that these students have a nice area set up. It looks like they have their own little area, which is great. Maybe we don't all have that. Right now, I'm sitting in the garage. I am sitting at a desk in the garage. If I took away my little backdrop, you would see tools and our furnace and all sorts of garagey things. But it's the quietest room in the house. COVID-19 has made it so that everybody in my family is home all the time. So you kind of have to, I know I have to take my laptop, kind of run around my house sometimes and find a quiet spot. Maybe that's what it'll be like for you sometimes. We just have to go with what works in our home, right? And especially with everyone being home. You have to do what works best. So what I do right now, especially with my students, my kids who will be home, I have a little file box for them and I have all of their supplies in it, all of their materials that they'll need through the day, like workbooks and paper, their pencil boxes, everything they'll need. When we're not using it, I just keep it in a bookshelf in our living room. And then when it's school time, I pull it out, put it on the kitchen table, and we get started with our day. So maybe that's what you have at your home is just kind of you'll be sitting at the kitchen table with all of your stuff. Whatever works best for you is how it needs to be, right? We don't all have big enough homes for a little office or a desk area, and that's okay. It does not matter. The important thing is that you have a space that you can go to and bring your materials to. Especially having your materials gathered and you know where everything is super important so that you're not searching for things when you really need it. I know that when I search for things, when I'm in the middle of working something and you have to stop and search for it, it's really hard to get back into what you were doing. So make sure that it's all in one area for you. All right, this is our website for enrolled students, and I am just going to screen share that really quick so we can kind of go through it. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. This is our website. So on the home tab, You can see we'll always have important information about that month right in the front. On the right-hand side, you can see our orientation and workshop schedules. On the left, you can see our newsletters for all 3 schools for that month. You'll find it here. You'll also find it in your email. And then we've got our orientation and workshop newsletters right here. Wava Learning Coach University. And then I'm going to start posting recordings from our orientations down there as well. So let's look through some of our tabs. We have our COVID-19 tab. This is a good one for finding out what our school is up to with COVID-19, any important information. We have a ton of resources that Kathy put together for us. Kathy is the student resource coordinator for middle school, but she put together a ton of resources to help us out during this time. So if your family needs any resources, please check on our COVID-19 tab. And if you need any other help, you can contact Kathy. And then on our school tab, you can see who all of our administrators are. So you can see on the top, that is our head of school, Miss Summer Shelton. She is fantastic. She is a wonderful, wonderful person, and she is so excited for WAVA, and she's very excited to get to know you. You'll be hearing from her as well. And then you can see all the administrators, our principals, assistant principals, operations manager, our administrator for special programs. Maybe your family has questions about 504s or IEPs or maybe HiCap. Dolly is who you'll need to talk to. We have our testing administrator, Mrs. Beyer. We have our enrollment manager, Mrs. Sat. And Mr. Gannis is our new office manager. So those are a lot of important people. And then we have middle school tab. So if you click on middle school, it's just more important information that you'll need to know. Lots of good stuff there. We have calendar and events. This is where you'll find anything coming up, our social calendar as well as our academic. Maybe your family is trying to figure out, all of your vacations. So you can check that out there. And then you'll also be able to see our virtual events that might come up. All right, and then we've got student support team, and then we've got links and videos. Oh, it looks like people are drawing on the screen, so let's please not draw on the screen. It's a little distracting. Links and videos is a great one for you. You have all sorts of helpful information here. So maybe you've got a lot of questions. Maybe you are needing to add a learning coach or update your address. Maybe you have questions about materials. Maybe you need to figure out how to find the student ID. All sorts of great stuff is on this page. Right now, K-12 Customer Care has a very long line of people calling them, so it might take a really long time to get through on the phone. So I suggest getting online first and checking that out. All right, so let's go back to our presentation and move through. All right, so you see on the top of this, there is an online school login. So you can click there to log into the online school. And that's what it looks like for the student and learning coach. And remember, if you forget your username or password, you can click here, forgot username, forgot password. If it's still not working, customer care can help you out. You just give them a call. And this is the Learning Coach page. This is from our demo account. So you can see the Learning Coach is Bob, the Learning Coach, and you can see Bob's students right here. So you can see Bob can keep track of what they're doing that day. See that there are 4 lessons to complete. Oh, but no classes that day. But Bob can also see that, oh, his student has 3 overdue assignments. So learning coaches, if you have not explored your Learning Coach account, please do it. A really great one to check out is the Announcements tab. K-12 has a lot of wonderful workshops for learning coaches for you to attend during the school year. So if you are needing a little extra support, maybe you just want to know more about K-12 and get a little more involved, please check out the Announcements section. So one thing that families are always asking about is the student ID. You'll probably notice that we ask for your student ID sometimes. So I'm going to show you how to find that. It is only found in the Learning Coach account. So Learning Coaches, when you log in, you'll go up here on the right to your name and you click on it. And when you click on it, all of these things pop up. So you'll click on My Info. And when you click on My Info, you can see all of your students, all of their information pop up. So you just pick on one of your students. Let's do the 8th grader. Pick that student. And then you can see all of that information. So this is pretty cool because you can see their account information, their password stuff. So maybe they forgot their password. You can find it. Their courses, orders. This is a big one. Families are asking about their orders. You can see that right here. And to find their ID, it's under the School tab. So I know it looks like a lot of steps and maybe it looks a little confusing right now, but once you've done it a couple times, it's easy. Just make sure to write down that student ID. Write it somewhere where you, the learning coach, and you, the student, can find it easily for when you need it. All right, and here is the student page. So when you log in, you can see your schedule for the day. So you can see this student has 4 lessons to complete. Oh, and 2 required classes to attend. And then you can see, oh my goodness, this student has 22 emails to read. They better get on that, right? Make sure that you are always checking your email because that's where your teacher is going to get a hold of you for all of the important things your teacher wants you to know. So you can filter that by week so you can see what your week will look like. And then we're going to go down to the Classes tab. And when you click on the Classes tab, you can see all of the courses that are assigned to you. Of course, you can't see that right now, but you will be able to. You'll be able to see all of your courses. And then maybe the course that you like to work on first thing during the day is language arts. So let's go over here and you click on language arts. Whatever you want to work on for the first one for the day, please click on that here. And then you can see this is the home page for one of those courses. So this is math, and the home pages all look the same for each course. The only difference is that you can see it's all about that course. So you can see this class, they have completed lessons learned is right here. They are working on this unit, fractions and decimals, and then there are other units that they haven't started yet. You can see updates and your grade, your progress towards the end of the year, and then if you have any overdue assignments and who your teacher is. But also on this page is your Class Connect schedule for the day. So maybe you're working in math class and you're busy, busy, busy. You can just check down here and see, oh, I know that I've got something coming up. And you can go to that class straight from that class page. Announcements is super important for you to check each day because if you remember how your teacher in a regular school building did it, they would stand in the front of the classroom and give you all of your announcements. Maybe they explained assignments, maybe they told you what was coming up. That is where, this is where your teacher in an online school will write all of those announcements down, is under the announcements section. So please check that out. And then we'll talk about grading. Grading is, we use a traditional grading scale in middle school, A's, B, C, D, and F. Final course grades are assigned at semester, but of course you can see your grade at any time. So let's go back. You can see your up-to-date grade at any time. So that's why it's super important that you always have assignments in on time. If you have any overdue, we suggest getting those done as soon as possible, especially before the next week starts. It's a good idea to start on Monday of a new week, just fresh with no overdue assignments. I don't know about you, but if there's anything overdue, it makes me feel kind of stressed. And so getting that done and just starting over on Monday is really important for your success at WAVA because you don't want it to snowball. Maybe you have one assignment that's overdue and maybe that snowballs because you're feeling like you're kind of overwhelmed and getting behind. So make sure to just get those done before the new week starts. And let's talk about taking attendance at WAVA. This is always a big question for families. How do we log attendance? We do not log attendance at WAVA. It's taken automatically. So that's why it's super important, students, that you log in every school day. You need to complete your daily plan, and what that means is completing all of those lessons that are assigned to you that day. You need to attend all your required classes. Make sure that you are communicating with your teacher every week. And then you need to attend your required monthly progress conference. And so that monthly progress conference, that's not a scary thing. I know, I'm sure students look at that and go, I don't want to go to that. That looks scary. That is just your time to check in with your teacher and talk about things. Maybe you have questions about things, or maybe your teacher wants to tell you how amazing you are. That's what that monthly progress conference is for. So your courses start September 2nd. Um, these courses have changed a little bit. Right now, we do not have art. So right now you have 5. There are language arts, math, history, science, and PE. All of those Class Connects, they are being scheduled right now. They're working on the Class Connect schedule for the school year, but those times are set between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. And your teacher will let you know about that. So you will have 2 live sessions in language arts, 2 for math, 1 for history, and 1 for science. And so you will have 2 teachers instead of having 4 teachers. You won't have 1 for language arts, 1 for math, history, science, PE. You will only have 2 teachers. All right. So WAVA student expectations. Make sure that you are logging into the online school daily with your username and password. Attend all your required Class Connect sessions and actively participate. Complete all daily lessons. Read and respond to all emails, calls, or texts within 24 hours. Please make sure you are communicating with your teacher. Attend your monthly progress conference and complete all your testing, MAP and state testing. So we do MAP testing online at the beginning, middle, and end of the year. And this is just to check your progress, just to see how you're moving along. As a parent, I love this because I can see how my student is growing. So it's not a scary thing. You just do your best, and that's all we ask of you. State testing is in the springtime, and that's actually a pretty fun event because although you are sitting and doing testing, it's also a little bit of social time because you can see students that live in your area of the state. You can see teachers that live there as well. A lot of us have been doing state testing for a long time. I've been doing it at almost the same sites for 5 years, and I see a lot of the same families, and I love it. It's so much fun. We get to see them, talk to them. We look forward to the social side of it. Learning coach, your expectations are very similar to the students. You need to check and respond to email as well and communicate with your student's teacher. Make sure you are keeping up on grades and progress. Make sure that your student attended their required classes, completed all their daily lessons, help your student log in for MAP testing, and provide transportation for your student to complete state testing in the spring. The average time commitment per day for a learning coach in middle school is about 2 to 4 hours. At first, it might be a little longer than normal as you're just getting used to everything. So once you kind of get your, flow of things, your routine, this will get a lot better. But be patient with yourselves at first as you're learning. Staying social and connected at WAVA. We have a Facebook group for learning coaches. We have the WAVA bulletin board, and we also have monthly newsletters. Who do you turn to for help? Your homeroom teacher, when that teacher is assigned, can help you with navigation. So if you have any questions about the online school, your teacher can definitely help you with that. They can answer school policy questions, but this next one is most important. They answer all your questions about curriculum, your math questions, language arts, history, science. All of that your teacher can answer for you. Your advisor, who is the person you're working with right now, helps you with getting ready for school. All that getting started information helps you with navigation, and they can answer general school policy questions, but we can't answer curriculum questions. So all of those questions have to wait for your teacher, and you just have a couple more weeks left. You will see office hours offered. Um, that's from your advisor and from me. You can hop into those if you have any questions. Right now, we have a lot of students and families to connect with, so maybe you're not getting a return call, or maybe you're not getting a return email as quickly as you would like. So please hop into our office hours. That's a way for you to just jump in there and get us. We are not answering email or phone calls at that time, so you will have our full attention. You don't have to stay the whole time, but it's a great way to connect and ask those questions. K-12 customer support, they are here to help you with your materials questions, technical issues, username and password. So please check out help@k12.com. That's the online way of getting a hold of them. You can also call, although wait times for calling right now is a lot, because K-12 schools nationwide are starting. A lot of schools start in August. So that wait time is pretty long. So I would look online first and then call. All right, and that is it. That's the end of our orientation. So if you have no further questions, you are free to go. If you have questions, you can stay. We will open up chat in a minute, but I just want to thank everybody so much for being here. We really enjoyed it. We're so excited you're here. And please check out the workshops that the advisors are putting on for you. Thanks, everybody. I'm just going to stop recording.